Okay, in this video, I'll show you how to create some really cool squeeze pages. Now, the first thing you want to do is get a better editor. Okay, the stock editor that comes with WordPress just has, your just H1, H2 headings and color. That's about it. Underline, bold. What you want to do is download TinyMCE Advanced and install it so you get better fonts, different font families, and highlighting and stuff like that. So just go to the plugins page and click Add New, and then we're going to search for TinyMCE. And there's two. I downloaded this one. It was a lot more complicated. The easiest one is TinyMCE Advanced, and you just click Install Now and then activate the plugin. And then under the Settings tab, you'll see the TinyMCE Advanced settings here. And this is very simple. You just drag and drop the stuff that you don't want, and then drag and drop the stuff that you do want. Now, what we need here is the font family. I'm going to put this right here, and this will give me like Helvetica, Impact, and different fonts. And then there's the font size. Those are the two that I want. And you can get rid of a lot of this stuff if you want to minimize everything on your toolbar here. And you can organize these so everything you need is close together. Like I can drag my text color and my highlighting color here, so it's all next to the fonts. And you can also, you can make really complicated tables and things like that. But that's pretty much all you need here. We could also grab this horizontal rule, and we'll put that up here just so we don't get too much. All right, and that'll create an HR horizontal line at the bottom of your page if you want that. And another thing I like to do is stop the editor or stop WordPress from stripping out the paragraph tags and line break tags, because that enables me to use more advanced coding in the HTML editor. That's totally up to you. That's what I do. So save changes, and then when we go back to the pages and our test squeeze page, now you see you have the whole editor here. All right. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start over from scratch. So we'll just get rid of all this. Okay, and I have a text pad, a little cheat sheet here. And what I'll do is I'm going to add this as the warning text that'll appear at the top of the page. So if we scroll down here, I have this warning text. I'll show you what that looks like in a minute. And then this is my headline. Just copy and paste that. Of course, you can just type this right into the editor. And then I have a call to action here. Okay. And then there's a privacy policy. Now this is optional. You can add this. Actually, you can add it to the Aweber form, or you can put this right below your form code, and I'll show you how to do that in a minute. But let's go back to the editor, and I'm going to center this. Okay, and then I'm going to make the whole thing a Tahoma font. All right, and then I'll change the font size to like 36. Or how about 24 for now? And then I'll make it all bold. Okay, and then I'm going to make this red, or a shade of red. Okay, so you can add a hex code down here, and I just happen to know the hex code that I want. That's a typical darker red, but you can just pick one off of here if you want. And edit that. Okay, and now I'm going to underline this. All right, and you'll notice that when you make changes, the editor can't display it correctly, but it just reverts to the default, which is Times Roman. That will not affect the actual page. Okay, it'll just show it here. So if you click on this, it still says Tahoma, so don't worry about that. All right, so let's see. Let's make this italic. And then we'll highlight this in yellow. Okay, so you can do anything with this. That's why this editor is so cool. This plugin is very flexible. You can do a lot more with it than a lot of editors or plugins that do it all for you. So you just enter it into like a text box down here. You'd enter like your title or something like that, and then they'd format it for you and color it. This gives you a lot more flexibility. You can use any different font you want, different colors, and different sizes to make it fit your page. Okay, so now let's take this and we'll center it, and let's make this Tahoma and bold it. All right, so this is everything that's going to appear above the opt-in form. And the other thing you want to make sure you do, pull this in here, is you want to make sure this is a one column squeeze page. Okay, one column is vertical, okay, it just goes straight down. Two column is going to be in a table side by side. So you do use that if you have like an image over here and then your opt-in box on the right. And I'll show you those next. But right now we want the one column squeeze page. And now we go down to the options. Okay, so this is where you add your autoresponder form. So let's take a look at forms in Aweber. All right, so I have a bunch of different forms here that I've created, and this is the basic form. And what I did there is, let me move this over for you. Okay, so you have your different templates here, and you have, there's hundreds of templates actually. If you go here, you can see there's hundreds of templates in each category. But we're going to look at the popular ones, and this is a basic form. So when I click on the basic form, it loads it for me, and it's unstyled load template. All right, this shows green here, but it's actually a regular submit button. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the inputs, and you can see everything here. You got your body labels. Okay, the labels are name and address or email. So let's see, put a star there. Let's say your name. Okay, and you can make this required if you want to. Okay, and then email. We'll say your best email. Little star there. All right, so we'll resize this. There. Okay, just so these are on one line. And then to get instant access, we want to make this big. And I'll put an exclamation there. And we'll change the font size to like 24 pixels. I'll move it to the right. Okay. That looks pretty good. Save the web form. We can make this Tahoma just to match. I'm going to have to go 36 and resize the form. There. See what that looks like. Okay, and then when you go to publish, you just install your form and you take this JavaScript snippet. All right. Copy and paste that here. And that is your form. Okay, now this is the warning text that will appear above this headline in a graphic, and I'll show you that in a minute. And then the YouTube video and the image URL, Those are for the 2-column squeeze pages that I'll show you in a little bit. Now, the other options here are your background color, the width of the page, and then a border would be like a solid border around the page, or you can round it and add a shadow, which is what I'm going to do right now. And I'm also going to add a big arrow. All right, so let's go ahead and publish that. Update it, click View Page, and there it is. Now, there's a couple things you can do here. For instance, this wraps around, so you could actually make this form a little bit bigger so it's up on one line, or you could make all the text bigger so it fills up 3 lines. All right, so to do that, you would just, let's say we'll make this 730. Let's just make it 750. All right, update that, hit refresh. Didn't help. Let's see. Let's go 36 font. Update. There we go. Okay. And notice how your text fills up this box. You know, if you have too much text, it'll run over. So you have to play with that. This is just exactly right. Also notice that, like I said, all of this text is Tahoma, not like what it looks like here. All right, so let's see what we can do about this button. And the cool thing is you can update this in real time. And so we just go in here. Let's see if we need to resize this. And maybe put this in the middle. See if that helps. Click Save Web Form. Go back to the squeeze page. Hit F5, and that looks a lot better. All right, notice how we have the rounded borders and the shadow. So if we want, we can go and just take those off. See what that looks like with just a plain page. Okay, and we can make the background white, which is FFF. Oops, FFF. There, now you have just a white page, and you've probably seen this before. Now let's say we want to make the background like blue, dark blue. And it's kind of purple. There's a light blue, something like that. All right. Okay, so now you have a blue background, and we want to add a border. Okay, looks pretty good. So there's a lot of things you can do with this. It's very flexible. You can play around with as much as you want. You can add different opt-in forms. You can get rid of the button or the arrow. So let's take a look at what this would look like with, you know, one of the fancy web forms from Aweber. All right, so let's check out one of these popular ones. I'll click on this, and big red, small red. Let's go with the big red. Load template. All right. Now, some of these don't have the option to edit the text on the button, so you may want to go with one that does. Let's look at this one. Nope. I think I'd rather have sign up now than just sign up. So I'm going to go with this one, and you can add a header to it if you want, but I'm just going to leave it because we already have. The only thing you'd add is yeah, like enter, what was it? Boom, all right. Yeah, I'd rather just add it myself at the top of the page, because this is gonna, if I resize this, that's not too bad. I think we have, yeah, then you have all this space here. That would push this down too far. You want to have it above the fold so everybody can see it as soon as they hit the page. So I'm just going to get rid of this and save the web form. And we have to get rid of that arrow. Update the page. And there you go. Okay, you have your privacy policy here, terms of service, earnings disclaimer. But if you wanted to add something else, you can add the footer here. Yeah, it's got the arrow too. And remove that. Another thing you can do is just add it right below, like this. So you have your autoresponder form code, and then add a P, that's a paragraph tag, and then update. See what that looks like. Oh, we got to make that center. So say align equals center. This will accept any HTML code that you want. Okay, there you go. I think it looks better with the shadow and the rounded border. Go on the background color. F7. If you use F and like F2, F3, F4, F5, any of those, it gets darker and darker as you go. So you got, there's F7, and then there should be different shades. There's F2, but I like F7. There's F5, and yeah, it looks better. And of course, if you don't want this warning above there, then you just take that text out. And it magically disappears. Okay, so now let me show you how to create a 2-column squeeze page. Alright, so let's go to Pages, Add New. And this one's going to be called How to Make Your First $1,000 in Line. This is one of my products. Alright, so what you want to do is add this as the title, and then add it here. We will center that, and then add the call to action text. And I always let them know, because if you're using a confirmed opt-in, especially, you want to tell them that you'll send it directly to their inbox. Okay, that is just a clue to them that they have to enter a real email address, or they just won't get it. So that's the way I set it up, and we're going to make this bold, and we'll make this Tahoma, and bold, and we'll make this 24 pixels. Okay, and then we'll publish the page. And view page. Oops. See, I forgot to select this template. 2-column squeeze page. Now with the 2-column squeeze page, you're going to have to go like 800 pixels. Start that. Okay, so we can definitely go wider with the title. And now what we want to do is add an image here and the opt-in form here. And to do that, we need to go to Media, Add New. So we're going to upload an image. And we'll look at these as large icons. Okay, so what I want, I'm going to do the Your First 1,000 video. And this is 350 pixels. That's pretty good size. And just click Upload. Okay, now that you have the image, you want to click on this, and this will show you the URL. So you don't want to insert this into the post. Okay, you want to get the full URL on your server where it was uploaded to the content. Okay, you copy that, and we'll just get out of here and go back to Pages. And this is the free video. And then we'll paste it down here where it says image URL. Right, and this is, I'll bet we can go with the 700 here on this one. Okay, so now we want an opt-in form. So we can change the submit button so it goes into the center. It'll look better. Save the web form. Oops. Okay, that looks better. And let's see, let's change the size to like 670. Okay, that's the width of the table. That brings in a little bit. Okay, that looks pretty good. Now, with the 2-column, you can also add one of the arrows here in a basic form. So let's go back to the form generator. We'll go to web forms. We'll try the basic form. It was under popular. It was a basic form. So wide. Let's go name. Email. Oh, there's so much space there. Good enough. Okay, and 18 pics. Perfect. So save web form. Go to publish, install the form, get the snippet. And we have, oops, the form there. Update that. And let's just change this font color to black. And we'll make this red. I'll say reveals. And then we'll add 4 arrows. And see what that looks like. Okay, so you can do this with any type of ebook. e-cover. And next I'm going to show you how to create, to add a video. And we're going to have to go a little bit wider on that. So then we'll have the video here and the opt-in form here. Alright, so I found a random video on YouTube when I typed in list building called How to Become a List Building Machine. And I'm going to use this as an example. Of course, you'll want to create your own videos. But we're going to use this and we're going to create a new page. And let's edit this so it's all caps there. Oops. Alright, so we'll take this, add it there, center it. Alright, and so for this one, let's go with impact. Okay, now you don't want to bold impact because that'll scrunch the words together and it makes it look bad, or the letters. So I just want to make this bigger. Okay, so that'll be above the video. And then we want to go to a Weber. I believe I already created a form for this. Yeah, list building machine. Alright, so we use one of these fancy ones. Enter your name and email to get the next video. So that's already done. I just have to get the snippet of code here. And you can use the full raw HTML if your autoresponder doesn't have the code snippets. Alright, add that here. Now the YouTube video. Okay, so if you made a video and you uploaded it, you'd want to click on share and then on embed, and you can pick from different sizes, and I believe this is 420 by 315, so we'll try that one and see how it looks. Okay, so we'll just start with the 700 and we'll round the border, add the shadow. Don't need the warning text. See what that looks like. Again, I forgot the template. Alright, so on this one you want the 2-column squeeze page. Okay, 2-column squeeze page. Update. And there it is. Alright, that's about perfect, huh? Okay, right height. So if this form was bigger or taller, then you could choose the taller video. But this looks pretty good. So now you have a tool that you can use to create good looking squeeze pages. So you have no excuse. Get out there, create some squeeze pages, do some ad swaps, build your list, and feel free to give this plugin to anyone you want. Share the love. I'm Derek Van Dyke, and I'll talk to you soon.